Good morning, everyone. Week 9, Element of Design. This is the last technical composition class. Let's start with color. It's easy to see on that one. If you put that picture in black and white, you won't have the same impact. Your eyes are drawn directly to the red shoes. That's a very beautiful element of design. You also have some leading line. Bring it to her. She's also into a frame, in the frame. She's in the doorway. It's easy to see a kind of a storytelling with the wheels there. That is old film wheels. You can think that, okay, she's preparing for a film or something like that. Color. Again, this is to imply some drama. The color, the red and the blues. It's a moody theme. This is all directly from the camera, but I use some gel. This is a selfie of myself. And I did that for a concept. The little red dress. Look at that picture. I frame the image, the subject into the image. And I like diagonal, as you probably figure it out now. And that's a rectangle, square. The dress is a little bit on diagonal too. And it's red compared to the rest. Another element of color, the opposite color on the wheel. The car blue and the car yellow, that makes for a good composition. And that's something, if you do color, look at the opposite color on the wheel or the color that are adjacent. A lot of people will do themes of color like all yellow, all red, and you can go the opposite way. It's very good too. That's the last one on color. That's the same thing. You have the green and the red that are opposite to each other. And okay, let's go to something else. Diagonal. Diagonal can add impact on your image. Look at that. Like, you don't know where she's shooting, and that's bring a concept. She's out of focus. The gun is in focus. That's using shallow depth of field to add some mystery to the image. Let's look at another one. See, the image is diagonal. That creates some dynamic inside of the picture. It's not static. And that's what you want, if you can, when it's possible. So that's why I say take your time when you take a picture. Look at the angle that you can take to get impact. Same thing on this one. You have a diagonal, and if you put the rule of third on top of this, you can see that it's going directly in between the middle here. You saw that one before. Triangle, triangle, curve. Very good element for a picture. Okay, this one, you can see you have one diagonal. You have another one here. That is the three sisters here. That's the subject. Okay, that's another interesting picture. As you can see, you have some impact because of the contrast. Because you have diagonal, you have the color, but you also have the contrast. And when you look at the picture, the viewer, the eyes always goes to the lighter part of the picture to start with. That's why you have people will put vignette around picture to bring the eyes in. When you look at that picture, the contrast is this knife. It's across from the black dress. And if not, you look in the farther away because it's highlight here too. Leading line going up here. And that's a concept picture. That's a contrast one. This is a triangle, the white and the black. And it's nature. It's just the nature of the picture. I didn't do anything. She just put her head over her friend here, and I snapped the picture. Another contrast image, and like I said, your eyes always goes where it's lighter, and you have the pink and the green. Everything else around it, it's dark. But you have a story. That's a woman in a bar reading the menu, and that's the idea of the story, because don't forget, your image has to convey a story, a message. Okay, let's look at other element of design. A frame inside of a frame, that's another way of doing some interesting design. Same thing for that one. You have a trunk here that gives me a view inside of the road, and the horse was there. Scale, we saw that before, but it's good to have an element of scale like this one when you see the size of the cliff. Without the element here, you won't have the same idea. Same thing here, the door. Beautiful doors in Argentina. But if you don't have somebody walking in front of the door, you will think that is a regular size door, but they're huge and beautiful. Scale is a very interesting element of composition. If you have the chance to take picture of road, this is a very good element of design. This one is straight in the front of you, but it's still very interesting because you have a story. You're going somewhere. You don't know exactly where. That's in the Andes, very bare. That's also in the Andes, turns. And just that little curve here make for an interesting picture. Same thing here, you have curve, another curve. It's a journey. Same thing here, and we had a sandstorm at the same time. It's very dry there, and you can see the road going, car coming. Road, curves, and things like that are all elements of design that are powerful. Okay, let's see something else. And that's a wide angle. And when you look at the wide angle, everything that is close to the lens is bigger. On that one, everything is in focus from the front to the back because it's a wide angle. That's helped, like I said. With a wide angle, it's harder to get shot at the field. Everything farther away, it's getting smaller. There's no compression. Farther away, smaller it gets. And you can play with that. That's the opposite. That's a full compression because that was done with the 400. Means the house is not that close to the mountains, but it compressed the image, bringing the mountain closer than what they are. If I would have used a wide angle, the mountain will be a lot farther in the back and a lot smaller. That's a regular point of view, and that's in the town of Banff. That's another compression. You can see the road here. The mountains are not that close. Same thing, another compression. You have the vineyard here. That's beautiful. It's in the Andes, in the Yucco Valley. That's a wide angle lens. It means everything that is close, it's big. Everything is getting farther away, gets smaller. This is done with wide angle. Have some distortion, but look at the big nose because their nose are closer to the lens and there's no compression there. Same thing, this one was done with fish eyes, and you can see the hand is close to the lens and is a lot bigger, and everything in the back gets farther away. Let's look at other element of design. Having the same kind of subject in a row. And those Herefords, they were very curious. I was sitting in the snow in front of them and I passed probably an hour, almost perfect row. Different personality. Row of things are a good composition element. You have a row of different statues and that's make a good image. We spoke a lot about the element of design. To finish this class on composition, I want you to think about message and storyteller when you look at your image. Look back at some image that you took in the past. Try to analyze the message. Okay, this is an interesting story of kids that were stopped by the cops, and that was in Santiago, Chile. And I like the element of the policeman, the two guys back to back, with the policeman looking into the bags, that one and asking question to the other guy. And you have the road and life goes on. This is a couple, and they are in a cafe, and they look like they had the story together since a long, long time. A sad story. And you have the newspaper here that are still there. It means it's probably early morning. That's another kind of story. Who knows what that guy wants to do? I didn't really like to follow him, but I like his outfit and I really like the shadow and the light crossing him. Means he's probably good and bad in the same time. That's my story. I like that one. It looks like they're three kids, friends, working and helping the U-wrench, and I like the lunch bag. Looks like three kids going back to school with their reflection in the back here. That's a very interesting story. I like that. Another story. Not sure that one is good or not, but the interaction between the cat and the dog. It's always interesting. Who knows exactly what will happen after? It's part of their life. I like this one. The story is very easy. The little kid that pray, the moon, and the cross. It's a lot of symbol here, and you have that circle here too. A lot of lines, diagonals. The last one, a picture of my husband that was in Buenos Aires. That was in a bar, and he was looking by the window, and I like the window light on his face. I like the story about that guy sitting in a bar, looking by the window, probably waiting for somebody. He had his cane here and his watch. Probably time is important to him. He's drinking a beer. You can see that it's empty in the restaurant. It's probably during a slow time of the day. That's all for this week. Next week we'll speak about Lens Baby, and the following week we'll go with the gears that I'm going to bring with me on my trip. But I wanted to speak about Lens Baby because they're very different kind of lens that can bring element to your composition. Till then, keep shooting, have fun, and if you have any question, just send it to me. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next week. Have a good one. Ciao! Enjoy your day, and ciao ciao.